Hey mathematicians, so today we are looking at more applications of percents. And if we look at this example 3, we see that we're working with a car that usually sells for $20,000. It's on sale for $16,000. The sales tax is 7.5%. The first thing they want to know is what percent of the original price is the final price. So if you're kind of just looking at that, your eyes are glazing over, you're not sure what the first step is, it might help to replace the words here with the actual numbers. The original price is 20,000 and the final price is 16,000. So now the question might look a little bit more clear. What percent of 20,000 is 16,000? Try to pause the video, do your tic-tac-toe, and unpause when you are ready to check your answer. All right, hopefully you've paused and you are back to check your answer. So I have my tic-tac-toe here, and I have part, whole, money, and percent. We know that 100 is always the whole for the percent. The whole, in this case for the money, is going to be $20,000. It might be the smaller number sometimes, but we know that we're looking at 16,000 as a piece of 20,000. So 20,000 is the whole thing, and 16,000 is the part, which makes the percent there x. As long as you have 16,000 diagonal from 100, you have x diagonal from 20,000, you're good to go even if the numbers are in different spots. So when you solve that, x equals 80%. So what that is saying is that $16,000 is 80% of $20,000. That's how to interpret what you just found. Now we're supposed to find the discount rate. Basically, they're saying that if they were to say that this car is some mystery percent off, what percent is that? So pause the video, give that a try, unpause when you're ready. All right, hopefully you are ready. So what we're doing here is kind of solving it in a different way. Still have our tic-tac-toe. We still have our part, our whole, our money, and our percent. The whole for percent is always 100. Our whole for the money is 20,000. Our part for the money is 16,000, and that leaves the percent to be x. So when you go to solve that, you are going to get x equals 80%. So what they're trying to prove is that you could work backwards and get the same answer different ways. 80% is not the discount rate. So instead, you have to subtract 80% from 100% to get 20%. You're paying 80%. The discount is 20%. So the final answer is 20%. It's probably not even necessary to do the tic-tac-toe. You could probably just go from 100 minus 80, get 20% right away. That would get you the answer as well. But if you weren't sure where to start, the tic-tac-toe is definitely a good place. So the final answer here is 20%. That's the discount. 80% is the amount you are paying. All right, we are on to C. So what the premise is for part C is that they're saying in real life, when you have sales tax, so sales tax is a portion of the payment that has to go to the government, that has to be applied to the discounted price. In other words, they can't charge you the sales tax on the full price when you're not paying the full price. They have to charge you the sales tax on the cheaper price that you actually are paying. So they're saying that's the way it is, but would it be better if the sales tax was calculated before the discount was applied? So I'm going to divide my section of work in half. I'd like you to do the same thing. In one scenario, what we're doing first is 20% off, and then we're going to add in 7.5% sales tax. In the second scenario, we're doing the 7.5% sales tax first, and then second, we're taking 20% off of what's left. And they want to know, is it better for the consumer one way or the other? The left is what it actually is. The right is what we might think is better after we do our calculations. So pause the video and do the left side. Unpause when you're done with the left side before you move on to the right side. All right, hopefully you have paused and you are ready to go. So we are going to do the left side of this first. So the first thing we need to do is calculate the discount. So 20% off is going to be calculated first. So in this case, the discount, oh, okay, so 20% discount. So we have our tic-tac-toe, we have our part, whole, percent, oh, sorry, nope, number and percent. So here we don't really have to waste our time calculating the discount again. We already know that the 20% off is going to be $16,000. That's the final price. So all I'm going to do right now is apply the sales tax to the $16,000. So the whole is going to be $16,000. The part is what we are trying to figure out. The percent for the whole is always 100. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. The percent is going to be 100% plus the 7.5% sales tax. So that's going to be 107.5%. That represents the initial cost of the $16,000 plus whatever 7.5% of $16,000 is. So I'm going to solve this proportion now. So x over 16,000 equals 107.5 over 100. So our number is going to be bigger than 16,000 as our final answer. All right, so we have our arrows. 16,000 divided by 100, knock off 2 zeros, is 160. So 160 times 107.5 gives me 17,200. So that's the total that's going to come out of pocket from this consumer, including tax. So the discount's been applied and there's a tax. That's one way. Now the other way is doing the sales tax first and then the discount. So pause the video. Go from the original price of $20,000, add in the sales tax, then do the discount. Come back when you're ready to check. All right, hopefully you are ready to check. So we have to find the $20,000, including the sales tax first. So we have our part, our whole, our dollars, and our percent. The whole for percent is always 100, and the whole for dollars is going to be $20,000 because this time the discount has not been applied yet. We don't know how much the money is going to be. The percent is going to be that 107.5%. So it's the 100% of the initial cost plus 7.5% tax gives us 107.5. So when we solve this, we have x over 20,000 equals 107.5 over 100. We have our arrows in. 20,000 divided by 100, we knock off two zeros, we get 200. So we're going to do 200 times 107.5. Typed it into my calculator wrong, 107.5 times 200, and that's going to be x equals 21,500. Now we haven't done the discount yet, so we have to do another tic-tac-toe to take the discount off. So we got part, whole, money, and percent. It's always going to be 100 for the whole percent. This time the whole for the money is 21,500. So that's the original price plus the tax. We don't know how much the cost is going to be. The percent this time is 80% because we're saying how much do we have to pay if there's a discount of 20%. We are applying the 20% to the price. So we do the tic-tac-toe here. We got our arrows to what we don't know. 21,500 divided by 100 is going to be 215. Knock off 2 zeros. So we have 215 times 80. And look at that. It equals 17,200, which is the same answer that we got when we did the sales tax and discount in the opposite order. So the answer here is no. It's the same either way. It doesn't benefit the consumer one way or another. All right, next page. Actually, I think we're going a couple pages ahead. So I'm going to page 95 in this version of the packet. So now we just have a problem set. It's going to be different types of problems. We are going to start with problem 1. So we have a coupon for an additional 25% off of a price of any sale item at the store. There's a kit on sale for 15% off the original price. What's the kit price after both discounts? What I'm going to do is there's this nice little area to work at the bottom. So I'm going to divide it into 3 sections for the 3 problems on this page. And then I'm going to shrink my work each time to make it fit in the page. So give problem 1 a try, pause, and come back when you're ready to review it. All right, hopefully you are ready to review. So there's 2 steps that we have to do here. First, we need to take the 15% off because that's the original sale that the store has. Then we're going to take the 25% off, which is the additional money off that you have, the coupon that you're bringing in. So when we set up our tic-tac-toe, part, whole, money, and percent, we are going to, we have the 100 here, of course. And then the whole is going to be the $40 cost of the robotics kit. Money we don't know. Percent is going to be 85% because 15% off means we pay 85. When you solve that proportion, you get x equals $34. But then there's an additional discount with the 25% off of that. So we set up another tic-tac-toe. Most of the numbers are going to be the same general idea here. Now the whole is $34, and the percent is going to be 75% because it's a 25% discount, so you pay 75%. X goes there. When you solve that, x equals $25.50. That you're going to want with a unit because that's your final answer. That is number 1. All right, number 2, see if you could do that one. Pause it and come back. All right, hopefully you have paused and come back. There's going to be an A, B, and C here, so I'm going to label my work A, B, and C. If I can't fit it in, I will shrink my work to make it fit. So now it's saying that we are buying an electric guitar for a sale price of $315. That's what we're actually paying, and it's 30% off. So what's the original price? So this is actually going to work a little bit different. Our tic-tac-toe is the same, and we still have the 100 in this spot, but now the 315 is like the answer to our problem. So the 315 goes in the part. We don't know what the whole is. We don't know what the original price is. And the percent we know is 30% off. So that means 315 was 70% of something. It's the answer to the discount. When you solve this, you end up getting x equals $450. So it was originally $450. It was 30% off. So that means that you ended up paying $70, which was $315. Or I'm sorry, you ended up paying 70%, which was $315. How much money did you save? That's just simple subtraction. 450 minus 315. That's going to be $65. And what percent of the original price is the sales price? Again, you could replace those with the numbers in the problem. The original price was $450 and the sale price was $315. So what percent of $450 is $315? So we have our part, whole, number, or price, doesn't matter, and percent. 100 always goes here. The whole is going to be $450, part is $315, and we don't know what the percent is. And x equals 70%. That makes sense because that's the logic that we use to solve part A. 315 is 70% of 450. All right, these videos cut off at 15 minutes, so I'm not going to have time to take you through number 3, which means you're on your own. But when it says find the markup rate, they're just asking for find the percent that they raised the price in order to sell it to people. So I hope that's enough of a clue for you. Good luck with that last one, and hope you learned something.